That was great, Pankaj. Got to know a lot about you. And we move on now to two guests. Now, this is, I think, the first for Jam with Sam.
Yes.
We're two at the same time. So these are, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Hareesh Tibrewala and Sanjay Mehta from the company Social Wavelength, India's largest social media industry.
So ladies and gentlemen, these are the people. Sanjay is one of the first person about 3 years back when I went and I said, can I send you a Facebook friend request? He says, I don't know you, so I can't send you a request. I said, now you know me, na? This is my card over here. So he's one of the first guys who connected me on social media, and I've been actively following him very regularly for his updates. I got to learn a lot from Sanjay, from his speeches and all over there. Hareesh, it's a very interesting story. Harish's son and my son, both in the same class in KG. Okay, so we'll start with you, Sanjay. Tell me something about yourself, your work, your education, personality-wise, 2 things about you.
You won't be able to ask the same question to Hareesh because a lot of it will be the same. Okay. But still, so you've given me the chance. I am an engineer, so I've done my BE from VJTI in 1985 way back. Also did a master's after that from the US at University of Southern California. That was also in electrical and computer engineering. First 10 years of my working career, I was an engineer. And so there was a family business in electrical engineering and computer engineering. We were making motors and AC drives and stuff like that. But around, 96, 97, the internet came to India. And there was also a little bit of an itch to go beyond the family business. Hareesh and I, of course, go back to college together. So we were in VJTI together, we were in the US together. We were friends after that for the next 10 years when we were in our respective family businesses. But after the internet came into India, there was an opportunity seen in the new space of internet. We got together and thought about it and kind of created a business and been business partners pretty much ever since.
2 adjectives.
Myself, I guess one is workaholic, unfortunately. Another is filmaholic.
That I know. You should read his reviews, honest reviews. He'll go watch that movie, come back, he'll put it up on his blog immediately over there about it. So people actually wait for his reviews to come out over there, and then they go and see a movie. So he's more popular than Dale is looking at me over there. Dale, of course, is a film publicist over there. Everybody either goes for Taran Adesh, and who's the other person who's there? Famous. These are a couple of, but I always go to what Sanjay says because I find that really realistic and worth looking over there. So Hareesh, over to you. Tell me something about yourself. So ditto, work education, ditto. Nice, interesting. We're going to save some time over there. 2 adjectives about you. Now don't tell me
that's
the
not
same
ditto. So adjectives are philosopher and coach.
Philosopher and coach. Very nice, very nice. So you guys do a lot of work also in grooming new entrepreneurs also. I think for the meetings and all, you do a lot of grooming of entrepreneurs, both of you, or he does it?
No, both of us do.
Both of us do.
So the whole idea is that whatever knowledge we have gained, go and share with other people and see if you can mentor people, share those experiences, create
Very
some
nice,
value for
very
them.
nice. Giving back.
So besides that, what happens is that you are in one business, you are stuck in it, but there is such an itch to do so many new things. So what you can't do, you see your mentee do it, and you're able to contribute to his success. There is a big high in that, because if you think that your experience, he doesn't have to run through the same learning cycle again. If you can contribute that little one shift in his gears and he can go a different direction, it helps. And there's a high. I don't think I'm doing for him. I'm doing for myself if I'm mentoring somebody.
Tell us something about your family.
Yeah, I am happily married. My wife's name is Shruti. She's a homemaker, and we have 2 daughters, Amoli and Saloni. Amoli is in the 3rd year engineering, and Saloni is busy with 12th class science exams, so busy with entrance exam preparations and stuff like that.
Over to Hareesh, family.
So you already introduced my wife, Mala. She is the anchor of my life. And 2 kids. I have a daughter who's doing her Master of Finance from UK right now, and a son who's going to go to the 10th standard now in AVM school.
What are the names?
So Sanchi is the daughter, and Raghav is my son.
Great. tell me something about story as an entrepreneur. So I think both your stories going to comment. So we'll shift gears between both of you all over there. So if you can start, maybe how you started your business.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting part. So you gave me the fun part. So we got together, like I said, in about 96, 97. The internet had just come into India. Both of us were in the family business. So when we thought about getting out and creating a new business, we took one decision that we will not take capital from the family. So we needed to virtually bootstrap business with almost zero capital. So what kind of business can you do with zero capital? So we went in, like I said, the internet had just come into India. There was an opportunity to go and educate people about the internet, about what it can do for them. So we created a product in the form of a seminar, and we would come to a room like this, put a screen and showcase the benefits of internet. Created a virtual seminar, half day, full day, in good 5-star hotels. People would come and pay us in cash. We were able to pay the hotel at the end of the day. We put ads in Economic Times and stuff to get the people. We were able to get 30 days to pay that back. So we had money coming in first and pay out later. At the end of every seminar, we were left with some cash on the table, which we could keep. And over about a couple of years, we did close to 200 such events all over the country. And that's how the capital came. And that's from after the 4th or 5th seminar, we were able to buy our first computer. Till that time, we were renting computers. They were not sleek things like this. We were actually moving around with dabbas of computers all over the place. At the end of every seminar, we would get people to say that hey, you showed us the way. It's great. Internet is so great. Some of them were exporters and others. They say, you showed us the benefit of the website. How do we get there? How do I create my website? So initially we were pointing them to other people who were in the business, but then we saw that after every seminar there was an opportunity of a business, because these were ready to take us as a vendor, not as a vendor, but as a consultant, and we got into the business of building websites as a quick natural course. We didn't have to go and look for a market. The market was there at the end of every seminar, and we created the first website of a lot of big Indian brands today, and that's the start of the website. Somewhere at that point, while we were doing websites for others, we decided to book a domain for ourselves. I think the name just popped out of the head. Didn't even think too much about it. We called it homeindia.com.
Homeindia.com.
Homeindia. So Hareesh, I'll leave at a certain point where you can, not at this final frame. There's so much more to say, so I'll just finish this Home India story. So homeindia.com, we just booked it up, but the turning point in our lives came when Sabir Bhatia sold Hotmail to Microsoft for a fancy sum. And he was in the internet business, we were in the internet business, and we wondered that what can we take as inspiration from what he did. And we found an interesting parallel. We said that finally what was Hotmail all about? So I don't know how many of you really get it. Hotmail was the first web-based email. Now we have Gmail and all sorts of things, but that was the first one. Till that time, everybody had to be in a university or an office to access email, because the email didn't go with you wherever you went. You had to be in a place on a computer. So Hotmail was the one which made email portable in a sense. And we wondered that what made it so successful. And we kind of gathered that it was a human being's inherent need to keep in touch, to communicate with others. So if I've gone for a day, I still want to be with my email. Today it would all seem like, what am I talking about? Because we take it for granted. Email is everywhere. But those days, to understand this fundamental that, people wanted to communicate with each other. Wherever they go, they needed email. So while Indian user base of the internet was trivial, it was nothing. But still there was a learning in this fundamental understanding that people like to communicate with each other. What do we do with this idea in India? That's when this interesting brainwave came about. I think that was a life changer for us. I think whatever we are today is because of that one thing. We've reckoned that there are all these NRIs outside who have internet on their desk, and their families in India do not have. Can we find a way to get them to communicate? In the need to communicate seemed to be inherent for a human being. So we created this service called Online Post, which enabled an NRI to send an email meant for his family here in India. It would come to us at homeindia.com. we would print that email on a piece of paper, stuff it into an envelope, put a postage stamp and send it to the relative in India. Hotmail was free, our service was free also. Hotmail made money on advertising, we reckoned that's the way, we should make money on advertising, we wouldn't charge the person. Hotmail only had to move bits and bytes, we had to actually put paper, print, envelope, postage stamp, we bore that cost, all those costs. But it became a huge hit. It became a viral success before the term viral kind of got invented, I suspect. Because I think in a matter of a week or 10 days, we just sent out information of this to a few friends. We were doing like 200 letters a day and things like that, and it just kept going up. Our office became a mini post office. We were just piled with papers and stamps and all that. But we were onto something big. Doing this at a whim and actually finding instant success, we realized that we were onto something. And then I think, the rest is history. I think I'll let Hareesh to carry on. Tell all the good stuff.
Yeah, so Sanjay shared how we started the first business, which was the online post business. We quickly morphed it into a gifting service as well as the e-shopping site became very popular. So NRIs would come to our site, buy products, we would ship those products one at a time. E-commerce wasn't even known in our country at that point of time. So we were one of the first people to set up a payment gateway and collect money over credit card. When we used to go to vendors and say, give us products to sell, they would laugh at us saying, how will people buy saris and clothes on the internet? And this is the year 2000, mind you. I remember actually being thrown out of a sari shop, but the shopkeeper is telling the watchman, don't let this guy come again. He says he will sell saris on the net. People can't buy it without feeling it. Of course, we did great business. Business was good for us. We sold the business in 2007 to another company, and then we decided to go and do jobs in corporate India. So having been entrepreneurs for 2 years, for so many years, we thought the grass was greener on the other side. Maybe it's good to do a corporate job now where you have a nice big chair and a nice big car and a lot of people reporting to you. So we took up jobs. Both of us did 2 independent jobs for 2 years.
Where were you all working?
So I worked in a company called Jason's Industries. It's a manufacturer of industrial adhesives. A 200 crore company as president of the organization. Sanjay worked in a company called Compare Infobase, based out of Delhi, basically into internet domain monetization. Again, a 1,000-member company. So both of us did those jobs for 2 years. But somewhere the entrepreneurial remains. You want to come back and be your own boss and call your own shots and live life with your own conviction. So sometime 2 years later, it's around 2009. We read a book, very interesting book on social media. Social media was not known in the country at all at that point of time. So we read the book. Sanjay gave me a copy of the book. I read the book end to end, and it seemed like something really good is emerging in this country. And there is one more opportunity, where we could make something happen. So just like we leveraged the Web 1.0 phenomena to build Home India business, here was one more phenomena. So we quit our cushy, very well-paying jobs, again got back to entrepreneurship, started from a scratch. First office like a 200 square foot office, exactly 3 people in the office. You try to get the 4th guy to hire you. He comes, opens the door, sees 3 people and runs away, So starting the business from there. So you go and talk to the first customer and he says, where is your reference list? And there is no reference list, So again, restarting a business all over, right from a scratch and building the business. Business took off very well. So we were operating from an office in Govandi from a small room, 200 square feet room. And next month we added one more room and then one more room. And by the end of 1.5 years, it's like about 10 places in the office that we are occupying. We are a 100-member company, shifted to a bigger place, Got a lot of good clients, have won a lot of awards for the work we are doing. And right now our social media agency, Social Wavelength, we are in the 4th year of operation. So pretty much on our 2nd trajectory as entrepreneurs. I suspect what really gives us the kick is the ability to create something. You want to be a creator. I want to create something and I want to see it grow. Okay, that really is what fascinates you. Can I plant a seed and can I make it happen? And that's really where the whole DNA lies.
So you think that creating a company and then not getting attached to a company is important, and then selling it for valuation, you think something is that the end result of something?
Not necessarily. That should be like an outcome. Okay. So my message to entrepreneur always is focus on creating value. Don't focus on valuation. People get carried by valuation. How soon can I build a company? How fast can I sell the company? That is not the way an entrepreneur is supposed to think. Think of creating a solid business. It will pay you money. Somebody will buy it or it will give you your dividend on a yearly basis, whatever it is there. So focus on creating value. Build solid businesses. Okay, whatever comes out of it is more of an outcome. So money cannot be your only goal. It has to be your passion which has to drive what you do. And it's your passion that you kind of, put your emotions and energy into it and make the whole business happen. So if you don't have passion, you don't have the belief, you can never be a good entrepreneur. The life of an entrepreneur is very, very tough life. It's we always hear the stories of Mukesh Ambani, Dhirubhai Ambani, and Mark Zuckerberg. A guy 27 years of age, $50 million. But do we know all those 5,000 other guys who never became Mark, and they can't even feed their families? So life of an entrepreneur is a very tough life. So unless you have passion and you have family support, so the whole mixture doesn't gel. But once you put in the passion and your family is there to support you, it's a great journey beyond that.
What is the biggest challenge which you have faced till today?
I think in our first business at homemedia.com, as some of you might remember, the .com bust happened. And by the time we had raised money and we had spent a lot of money, because that was how it was the days of the .com boom that time, suddenly we found that .com was a bad word. People would not touch .coms. We reckoned that we had a good business model, but suddenly you wouldn't get good people to work for because they thought it's a dying species. Investors would not look at you. Really, really tough times. About 2.5, 3 years, we had the money was at the lowest level. We had a fancy office. We kind of gave that up, went and worked, put ourselves in a smaller office. We had the conviction that we had a business model which was workable. So what if the money is not there? A lot of people should close down. We decided not to close down because we were convinced that the business we were running was made for the internet. Right. It was not a business which somehow we were trying to just get eyeballs and try to peddle it off. But those 2.5, 3 years were really tough going because it was hard to make ends meet. There was no investors signing nice fancy checks and supporting us. So those are tough years, I guess.
Okay. What about the road ahead for both of you, for the company? What do you see ahead?
I think we are in, like Hareesh said, this is the second running, and it almost seems like a deja vu because we are again in a business which is hot. When we went into the internet business, we were early and it was hot at that time. Except this time we think that it's here and it's for real. There's real value. It's not just what you would call some sort of an irrational exuberance as it used to be called in those days. And it seems that God has given us another big opportunity and we're going to make it. So we're just focused on growing it, making it bigger. One side, when they think of digital media, and they say what is the whole big digital media business worth? And it seems like a small number compared to the marketing spends and the television and all that. But I think it's evolving in a very, very different direction. So it's not just a question of getting a fraction of the marketing spend. We are getting monies from corporate communication budgets. We are getting money from HR. We are getting money from PR budgets. Social is becoming social business. It's not anymore just social media marketing where you get leftover peanuts from the marketing spend. Okay. We're getting money from different sides. It's exciting. I think it's for us to see how big we can make it, and sky's the limit.
So you don't think this will be like another .com bust? What is your feeling on that?
Not really. I mean, obviously with any hype situation, there's an element of falsehood which comes in the hype. But as long as we are clear, our feet are on the ground, we know what we go and talk to our clients, we are selling them reality, we are not selling them just a bubble or just a cloud or something like that. So the benefits of social media are undeniable. They are all across. It's not going away anywhere. You can't turn back technology. It's here to stay. So I don't think there is a bubble nature in that. What we promise has a clear path to, for the client to get his results. So I don't see that. There will be some people who will try to make a fast buck. At least we are clear that that's not the path we want to take.
Okay.
So I think I don't have any challenges in that sense.
If not this, then what?
So I hope it's not. If not this, after this maybe.
That's okay.
Hopefully, write. I'd love to write. So maybe put together fiction, non-fiction. Be a digital nomad in some sort. So travel and digital together is a dream which I have.
Hareesh, how about you? If not this, then what?
Maybe write poems.
Poems? Hindi or English?
So as I said, I'm a philosopher, so a philosopher has to kind of delve into that dream. Language doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
It's just poetry.
It's just the feelings which flow through.
Absolutely.
Mala is smiling. She's at least, he'll write me some nice poems and all that stuff. And my wife is looking at me.
She's wondering how will he manage the household.
Poems. Okay. Small rapid fire round. I'll go alternate over there. Fear.
Heights.
Dreams.
Money.
God.
Fearing. Correct, fearing.
Entrepreneur.
Challenges.
Challenges.
Every day.
Change.
Do it.
Do it. Very nice. Let's give a hand for them, yeah? Something which inspires you, a person, a quote or something.
Entrepreneurs, a successful entrepreneur story, biographies are very inspiring.
And you, Hareesh?
So I think a person who has inspired me deeply is Mahatma Gandhi. You know, I've read his autobiography. I've read lots of books on Gandhi. I've watched his movies and various movies around Gandhi. And what inspires me is not just the fact that he was a freedom fighter, but I think he was like a master strategist. You know, he understood strategy very well. A master marketeer. You know, he knew how to brand himself, how to connect to masses, how to make all the communication happen. And obviously a very, very honest human being. So the multitude facets of the person are absolutely amazing. And he has been a huge inspiration for me.
One lesson life has taught you.
I think I'll go with what Pankaj said, not to take anything for granted. I think it's equally true for me. Yeah.
Especially Gar ki murgi dal barabar.
Yeah. I mean, you're up one day and down the other side. That the first experience of entrepreneurship had some really good lessons for us.
Hareesh?
Yeah, so I think one lesson life has taught is be honest, be yourself. Don't try to pretend to be somebody else. Whatever you are, just be that and you'll manifest the best you can.
Something you'd like to change about yourself?
My weight, of course.
Everybody's heavyweight.
You got all heavyweights today.
Sanjay, you
I wish I could sleep some more hours.
sleep some more hours, okay. Okay, now in your view, how important is networking?
It's extremely important, no question about it. I think a lot of where we are today is on account of networking, in the sense that a lot of our initial business came through connections in Rotary, friends, but in networking, I mean, you don't work out with an objective that what can I get out of it. Basically, it's about giving. It's about being genuine. And if you want to connect to people because they'll make something out of it, go ahead and connect. Don't think that where's my cut. It's not a brokering kind of conversation. So as long as you're natural, I think it pays back. I mean, people are out there coming back to help you. So I think it's amazing.
So I think business is about networking. You know, it's not about merit. It's not about the proposal you make. It's about how well you know the guy and how much he trusts you. So I think business is actually about networking. It's extremely critical.
Now, I'm not going to ask this question is how important social media is to you, because I'm going to ask you, either one of you, to tell the customer is, here we have all small businesses, we don't have any enterprise customers, is how important is digital media for them today?
I think for SMEs, digital media is a boon. I mean, it's that one opportunity which can get you to be at a level playing field with a much larger competitor of yours. But you have to practice it yourself, is what I say. SMEs, most of the time you don't want to get an agency. You probably may not be able to afford. I'm not sure. I mean, you may be large SMEs, but still, the SME has a little, closer want to, make every rupee count. And agencies, you will not see that necessarily. I mean, I'm an agency, and I'm still saying this thing. I will love to work with larger companies who can see bigger budgets for longer time. But no, that's not. It's not about me, and it's just about SMEs. I think it's tremendous boon for SMEs, because working yourself, you can make your time and your money reward yourself many times over compared to putting an ad in a magazine or on a newspaper or a television, because usually you'll have limited budgets. You may not be able to put in a long campaign on television or print or something, but you can make that money count for a lot just by doing intelligent digital media, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's blogging or whatever you feel like doing.
Hareesh, how about you? How do you feel is the future of blogging as a comparative? Do you feel that a Facebook is a better, or a LinkedIn is better, or a Twitter is better, or blogging is better?
So I think each platform has its own place in the ecosystem, depending on the kind of business you are and what you need to do. So for example, blogging is very important to build consumer confidence and trust. Specifically, if you can get other people to write about your product or advocate your brand. Blogging also has a longer shelf life. Once you create a blog, it remains for a long time. You put up a Facebook update, by next day morning it is vanished and gone. You put out a tweet, it is a 5-minute kind of a lifespan. So depending on your business objective, you have to choose the right platform. Whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, blogging, each has its own role in the ecosystem. But you need to identify the correct strategy and use the correct platform in the correct fashion.
Okay, very nice, very interesting. One thing you've tried, one thing you've not tried and you would like to do?
definitely like to get into golf sometime. I've not had a chance to spend much time on golf.
Okay.
Scuba diving.
Scuba diving. Wow, fantastic. So are you afraid of that, or you want to do that?
So we did a little bit of not scuba diving, some diving when we were in Australia once, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Being underwater for some time. So
Okay.
yeah, if you get a chance, want to do scuba diving.
You don't get claustrophobic or something like that.
So when I do it, I'll come to know.
Okay. Okay. What would you like to be in your next life? I give it options: is Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Amir Khan, or Dhirubhai Ambani?
Out of this lot, I'll pick Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Why?
He had an exciting life. I mean, including going out to the Himalayas and spending time, being in your own terms, doing everything. Fascinated by design, fascinated by user interface. I think that's the thing. Some of those things I'm also equally passionate about. So that's a parallel life.
Okay. Hareesh?
Maybe be an entrepreneur again.
Choice दिया गया.
Maybe I'll choose Ambani.
Ambani. Okay.
Yeah.
Paisa. So between both of you,
My wife is happy.
My wife is happy over there. So between both of you, are you a more operations guy or more finance driven, or are you a more operations or finance driven? What is the kind of, since two people are there, just like husband wife in the house, the husband occasionally does not go to the kitchen, the wife doesn't want him over there, and he prefers him to earn out over there. So what roles do you all both do? And keep each out of each other's way or something like that.
So in Home India, what we used to do is to actually rotate our roles every year.
Oh, okay.
So what he would do one year, I would do the next year, and we would kind of completely rotate it. So
okay.
You can pretty much replace us for any role.
Okay.
I mean, we could go for a client meeting. He could sit for half of the meeting, walk away. I could walk in. Client wouldn't see the difference. So in that sense, we feel ourselves completely. We are able to mix match in everything.
What do you like the most? I mean, you like
people.
You like people,
I like
customer facing and interacting.
Could be customer facing. Could be people in-house. I basically like to talk to people.
Okay.
That's what I love doing. Talking to people, whether talking to employees, talking to customers, talking to an audience, talking to people is really what I love.
Talking
Engaging.
to wife also comes in that?
Am I supposed to answer that question?
Okay. How about you, Sanjay?
I like marketing, and I of course also like strategy. I think strategy is something which motivates me, inspires me.
Okay, strategy, long-term strategy, planning and all.
Long-term strategy, even campaign strategy on client campaign strategy.
Okay, I like that one. Interesting. Besides business, what are your other passions which you shared? Any other passions you have?
Films, travel, family.
You like to travel?
Yeah.
I know this. I think there's some person in your company who I always see him going. I'm in Singapore, and he keeps writing. What's his name? Srinivas. So I mean that's something very interesting, and he keeps blogging about that and all. And I think you all encourage him also a lot.
Even pay him a salary.
Pay him a salary. That's important over there. So I mean, and that's something very interesting. People are actually traveling and blogging about that kind of stuff. And then you also,
I think, especially in fields like ours, it's that creativity which comes to play. And creativity doesn't come sitting in four walls in front of a computer alone. So more experiences, more new experiments in life. That when they come back inspired with something new ideas, new thoughts.
Do you all? How do you think of the work from home kind of concept? Do you think that makes sense in India, working from home?
You have to be ready as an organization. If you have processes and methods which are put in place, then it can work. I think usually it's a little more challenging. Because the whole, accountability, delivery and all that, and also working as a team, making things happen together. Some maybe exceptional organizations which have put all these things in place could work, or if you're working as individuals, then it's fine. But as long as you're in teamwork and coordination and stuff like that, I think it's not very easy.
And how open are customers? You mentioned working with customers. Like today, it's become very difficult to go and physically keep meeting the customer. So you think things like video conferencing and Skype and all, customers are open to that?
Absolutely, 100%. 100% works very well.
They have no problem.
I think we have clients across the country, and we don't necessarily have presence everywhere. So video conferencing, conference calls are a boon. Clients are comfortable, they're happy to do that.
I think traffic and this is pretty challenging.
Yeah, I think everybody today starts valuing their own time. So there was a time when clients would say, idhar aake milo, let's do a meeting. But I think people are becoming very practical. They know that work is more important than the physical interaction. As long as it happens, it's fine.
So I think once Mr. Ambani rolls out the 4G, then your phone and your video conferencing is going to be big time.
It should be.
It should be over there. Absolutely. I had gone to the store today also, and they said, "हमको पता नहीं कभी चालू होएगा." So let's hope for that.
They open stores.
No, Reliance, they're starting the 4G, na, so they're not sure when.
That's the other brother, right?
Yeah, the other brother. Yeah, the other brother. Sorry. How's been your experience? You might have heard of Jam with Sam outside. It's the first time you're coming over here. So what are your feedbacks and your kind of thing about Jam with Sam?
Oh, it's amazing. What a fantastic brand you've created. Very inspiring. Very innovative. I feel like I'm on the Oprah show. I made it today.
Thank you so much. Hareesh, how about you?
Yeah, it's the first time I'm getting jammed with Sam.
Jammed with
so
Sam.
it's an interesting experience, and very interestingly, maybe first time I'm sharing the dais with Sanjay. You know, so
Oh,
when we
okay.
go to an event, either I speak or he speaks. Rarely we are both speaking at the same event at the same time. So sharing the dais with Sanjay and learning so many new things about it.
That's nice. A question, I mean, just an ending question is, how important you think is a person, like you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, you have Twitter. So do you think that a Facebook, a lot of people I've seen creating a Facebook account and sharing only company information on that. You know, he'll be talking about his company, he'll be sharing his ads and all that stuff over there. Do you think that makes sense, or a person should keep his personal account talking about his personal stuff and maybe, you know, sometimes talking about his company? What is your take on this particular thing?
See, it's really the objective of a person. So I mean, if so, a lot of us will get bothered by telemarketers. Oh, why is he calling us? But apparently it still works. They make business. So it may be a nuisance to somebody, but he gets away and he gets his business. So same way, if somebody posing as a friend and keeps pushing his business updates to me, I will definitely unfriend him or block him or something. But that's not what I look for.
Correct.
But if he sees that, if by doing all that, every now and then he gets leads for his business and it works, and it doesn't matter if as a personal reputation he's going down. I mean, as long as his objectives were to just make business, it might work for him. But it's like it's that. I think in general, I would say that if you're on Facebook and you're as an individual, you're creating your own friend circle, your groups, you should definitely not be too pushy about pushing your brands out there. I mean, like today morning only, I was like on LinkedIn, somebody sent me a holy e-card. I guess they don't get the media. Like, next will be some baby shower invitation or I don't know what. It's like on LinkedIn. So it's like people don't get the medium often and they kind of use it incorrectly.
I've seen a couple of, like, whenever I speak to Americans or Europeans, they are not very comfortable adding as a friend on Facebook. While this is send me your LinkedIn, I'll connect with you on LinkedIn over there. While in India, most people are very happy connecting, your friends, family, kids, everybody is, it's like a big, kind of a big party happening over there. So what's your kind of take on that? I mean,
it's just, I think, a cultural issue. I think as Indians, we like to make friends, we like to meet, and we like to talk a lot. So you see large, big Facebook updates, and everybody has an opinion on everything in this country. So it's just a cultural issue. We really like to connect well, and we all want to talk and not give up the mic. Whereas in the US, it's all very private lives. So you will not really open up your Facebook page. You are more comfortable wearing a suit and exchanging business cards and keeping that kind of safe distance. So I think it's entirely a cultural issue.
And about LinkedIn, just to take on LinkedIn, why is LinkedIn not? I think everybody's got a LinkedIn profile here. How many of you log in and keep checking it daily? Okay, maybe only about 3 or 4 hands going up over there. Why is LinkedIn not taken up so much compared to Facebook in India? Is it because their ads are expensive compared to Facebook, or there's a...
No. So I think it is lack of understanding of the medium. It's not about the ads. So both the mediums work in different fashion. You need to learn to use the medium well. We do work for a whole lot of B2B kind of clients. LinkedIn works beautifully. If you're a B2B business, social media can give you ROI on an investment faster than for a B2C kind of a business. Okay? So if you're a business-to-business kind of a person, but you need to use LinkedIn properly. You cannot go to LinkedIn, friend somebody, and next send them a catalog of your product. That will not work. So people have to understand the process, how to make it use. It's a hugely powerful tool. LinkedIn is exactly what we are all doing here. What are we doing here? We are trying to meet, exchange cards, make a small talk with everybody. Hopefully somebody will go up and call up somebody and say, I have some work for you. Okay, that's exactly how LinkedIn manifests. You meet people, you exchange something of interest, and people remember you and make something. So it's not about in-the-face kind of marketing. So one has to learn how to use the medium. It's a very, very powerful medium. And in the longer, I think LinkedIn will kind of do better than Facebook. If I had to buy stocks today, I would rather buy a LinkedIn stock than a Facebook stock.
So you think that Facebook in America, they say slowly it's going down, or is it going
No. So I'm not saying Facebook is not a good stock. I'm saying relatively speaking, LinkedIn is better. Facebook is here to stay. A brand that caters to 1 billion people is not going to vanish in any real time to come. You know.
And we keep seeing a lot of tweaks happening in Facebook. You know, sometimes they change this style, sometimes they change. Do you think that's important, which is happening as he keeps on doing it? Because some people don't like change. They say they've changed the whole, I've got to sit and learn everything once again over there. So you think constant updation, it makes sense?
Yeah. So I think the changes make sense, So when Facebook came into place, MySpace used to be there.
Yes.
And MySpace and Orkut never changed. They kind of just stuck to their old technology. They were not understanding user requirements and GUI, which Facebook is actually doing very well.
Yes.
And every change you see is change for the better. Much better. It's become much more friendly interface compared to what it used to be 3 or 4 years back. So I think they have to keep changing, they have to keep innovating, and they're doing good job.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been a very interesting session over here. Really enjoyed that. I hope everybody else enjoyed the learning and the gyan. So I'll have to do one by one. That's for you. Thank you. So this is microwavable. Okay. It's not. It is fragile. If you drop it, it'll break. But it comes with lifetime guarantee. It breaks. You call Sam. It's broken. I'll send you one more over there. That's for you, Hareesh.
Thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think you got to know a lot of inside info on 3 gentlemen here. Hareesh Tibrewala, Sanjay Mehta, and of course Pankaj Gupta. So give them all a big hand. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was all because of one man. And this man is Sam. So I think he deserves a big hand. Yeah. I'd like to tell you a bit about Sam Sampath Iyengar. He has been in the IT industry for the last 22 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not that old. Having his own company, Sam 7 Computers. He started yet another company, Neo-Social 7 Media Solutions, 3 years back, just 3 years back, which handles the social media of various small and medium businesses. He has customers like Morpheus, Life Sciences, BNI India, Podar Developers. He also manages the social media accounts for Ramu and Associates, IQ Vision Care, Rotary District 3140, Revive Lifestyle, Condom Point, BMPA, UBX West, Couriers, there he is, etc. To explain further, Neo Social 7 handles their presence across various platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, etc. I just got into that. In January 2012, Sam decided to create an offline event for all his online customers. Here, much like Coffee with Karan, Sam has Jam with Sam. Where's the jam? I still haven't had jam. Well, he interviews 2 business entrepreneurs every month who share their life story, goals and achievements, both professional and personal. Prominent jammers were Neeraj Shah, National Director BNI India, Agnello Rajesh Athaid from St. Agnello Computers, Tushar Singhat, MD, D-Link India, Karen Shaiva from ID Pro, Vivek Mendonca from Lawrence and Mayo. He's also a Rotarian for the last 18 years from Bombay Sea Coast and is in the Rotary District 3140, heading the digital media position for the next 3 years. He's also a BNI member from the Alpha chapter for the last 8 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam!
Thank you.